When you fall in love fast, when you start falling in love in the first date and whatever, and you start fantasizing being with them and stuff like that, that's a sign that you don't really love them. That's just ego, and you just want to find yourself through this relationship. That's my opinion on it.
How would you recommend controlling it? Because I kind of do fall in love fast.
It's a good question, man. You're smart. Look, you're a smart girl, man. Um, you have to control your fantasies. That's in your control. When you meet somebody, when you go to a job interview and you feel like you had the job, right? And you're excited, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you say you're excited, why do you think you're excited? You ever wonder why you feel like you have something and you feel excited? Why do you think that is?
Because you feel like you got it.
But how do you? But what is that experience like? When you feel like you got it, what do you do in your mind when you feel like you have the job?
You fantasize about it's the expectation.
You begin to see yourself working. You begin to see telling your friends and family. You begin to see yourself going to work. But that's a choice. If you control your fantasies by not imagining that, you pretty much lower expectations and lower your emotional response to those fantasies. So it's all about controlling your fantasies. So when you meet a guy and he's a great guy, he sounds perfect, you have to say to yourself, I don't know your name, but you got to tell yourself, control your fantasies and don't imagine that fantasy of being with him. Don't imagine of you guys having a happy marriage. In fact, imagine it not working out. Imagine it, this is the last time you're going to see him. So that if he does see you, it's a pleasant surprise, but it's a surprise that's not emotionally charged. And that's how you keep your distance. You just control your fantasies. Make sure that you don't fantasize being in a relationship, because I can promise you that's what you do when you meet a guy that you like. You begin to see yourself with him. You begin to create a little story and you begin to hype yourself up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but so like I know I don't really like the guy, so it's like I never have liked the guy then, because I feel like I do that thing. Like, how do you know you really like someone? Is it that you like the person for who they genuinely are, like their personality? Like, I don't know what I'm liking them for.
Well, again, when you're liking somebody because it comes from trauma, you're gonna tell that. Like, how can I say this? It's just I don't know what was your question again. I'm not gonna act like I can't remember. What was it again?
I don't know exactly. Like, then with that said, I don't think I've ever really liked anyone. Like, do you like someone? You know, you like someone genuinely because of their personality. Like,
well,
like,
again, you can't do nothing about it. You just have to make sure moving forward, you control your fantasies. That's all you have to do. Like when you meet a guy, make sure that you start being a little bit more pessimistic, start being a little bit more negative, not because of trauma, but because you're being practically negative. It's a rational exercise where when you meet a guy and he sounds great, he's like, hey, girl, I'm going to give you the world, right? He tells you that. You control your fantasies and you don't imagine him giving you the world, because what they want to do, they want to engage your imagination. Once your imagination is engaged, your emotions are engaged. Your imagination controls your emotions, your emotional response. Control that, and you pretty much have reign over your mind. But you can't. If you do that and you still fall in love, most likely it was natural, and that's okay. Now, how do you tell when it's real love? It takes time. You go out on a date with a guy, you like him, but in your mind, you're like, I mean, he's not this special. You don't feel the spark on the first date. It's a red flag when you feel sparks everywhere on the first fucking second. You know what I'm saying? But you know it's real when after the second date, you're like, okay, I kind of like him a little bit. All right. Second date, you feel like an extra connection with the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you got to do. But also pay attention. When you're dating, when you meet a guy the first time, pay attention. Who does he remind you of? You know, he reminds me of my ex who broke up with me. Oh wow. And he looks like my ex. I could be with him and just imagine he's the guy that I was with. Like, that's trauma, right? When you're with somebody because it reminds you of your ex or your dad. You know what I'm saying? So go for the ones where
you. One more question.
What's up?
So it's a red flag if it's the other way around too. Like, I've been on dates with guys and they like me so much.
Yeah, you're not that lovable. Nobody's that lovable where they'll just like you in the first time. That just means either one, they like you physically, and that's okay. And that's completely different. If they like you because of sexual attraction, that could turn into love. That's totally fine. But if they like you in the beginning instantly and it's like sparks and they're like, oh my God, I want to marry, blah, blah, blah. Remember, you might remind them of their ex. You might remind them of somebody who hurt them. And what's gonna happen is as soon as you validate them, they're gonna pull away. In fact, that's another thing, is that you know that it's not genuine, it's part of trauma when you love somebody, because when they start loving you back, you pull away. That's a sign that it's really because you're trying to fix a relationship. You feel like you fixed it. Now you're going on to the next guy who could provide you some kind of drama. You know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you for the question. I appreciate your question, man. That was good.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 8, 19, and one is 14, 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man, Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one would teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.